Elio guys, and welcome back. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there, and in today's video we have the developer's notes for February 2023. Now I do believe I may be like a day late here. I don't know why. Like, I do have a Facebook, I don't really like use it for anything, but even checking it like a day later, all of a sudden it popped up, oh look, hey, there's developer's notes from MSO. What the heck, man? Like, what in the heck and heck? I actually need to like pay attention more, or if you guys think I might have missed something, feel free to DM me over there on the Discord. So join the Discord if you haven't already, and that link is in the description below of this video and of course of all the other MSO videos here. But we do have Mr. Dongjin Lee. Hey sir, how you doing? And moving on to the update here, they hit us straight off. Like, as soon as we opened the door, we just got smacked in the face with a new Astromon. We have our new Astromon, which is a 3-star, which is a water version, and also a 4-star light and dark called Sunday. It's literally like ice cream that evolves into ice cream inside of a scoop, and ice cream inside of a cone. So very curious to see how it will basically play out here. Obviously the water one may be useless to some degree, don't quote me on it, and then light and dark may be a little bit more flavorful, but make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that lovely review coming up here. But yeah, Sweet Sunday is here to come over here and hang out, and this is actually pretty cool because what's her name, okay, it's finally come back to me. It's Truffle, I do believe. Like, Truffle has been around since like 1957, so I'm glad that we have something fresh to spend our freaking capture chips on, because if you're like me, I think I'm sitting over like 2,000 chips just because there's been nothing for me to literally catch in my main account. I mean, I could, but what's the point? I can just farm regular Astromon and release those, and they don't cost any chips whatsoever. So it will be interesting having something different up in the mix versus Truffle, and I believe it's Andy Kane, but don't quote me on it. So at least it's something new. It may not be something that's viable, it may not be something that's important, though I do believe at least one of them will be, because that's usually how things work here. But at least it's a fresh face, shall I say. And outside of exotics, I mean, all that we've gotten, especially within like the recent year and a half, has just been purely Nat 5. So it's nice to have something else in the mix for once. And then there's also new Astromon added, Mini Gleam / Mini Holy Gleam. The mini version of Gleam is going to be added. Mini Gleam helps awaken natural born 4-star or lower Astromon. So they're kind of splitting things up to where you don't necessarily have to waste a Gleam, like a full-on Gleam, on your Nat 4s if you're trying to Evo 3 them, by providing us with mini gleams. My initial thoughts on this is, at first it seems like it's pointless, or it's just not necessary, because why would I use gleams on a Nat 4? If I can't Evo 3 that Nat 4 without getting more versions of that Nat 4 to Evo 3 it, then I just won't Evo 3 it. I'll use my Super Evolution Nat 5. I mean, which is what they've kind of pushed a meta to. But looking at this, it really doesn't hurt anything at all. I mean, there's no downside to this. Obviously, if you've already bought your Gleam for your Nat 5, you can then spend your points on this. But especially coming from like a new player standpoint, where it's a bit difficult to get Nat 4s, even if you do have enough Astro Gems, just because gold is an issue, and then pulling that Nat 4 like Cure, for example, could be a problem depending on your luck here. So very interesting. I do think this is more so of a positive contribution, because then you don't have to worry about wasting your actual good gleams on your Nat 4s if you want to go that route, or if you're trying to accelerate either filling out your Astro Guide, or maybe you're trying to accelerate, I don't know, Evo 3ing your Dark or Light Yuki or Dark or Light Hana, especially the Hanas, dude, like Wood Hana. That is a heaven sent, especially if you're, getting into Titan. So I think this is overall positive. My initial reaction though was just like, but why? Why would you do that? But yeah, I think it's fine. It doesn't take away from anything, it just adds more, and I'd rather Smart Study add more into the game versus locking or preventing other things from happening. So I think overall, that is fine. It looks like they will have their own exclusive storage too. That should have been there from the start, but we're not talking about that. Also added new player event. For Masters who play MSL for the first time, new events such as the login event, quests, special shop, and special package will be added. Accounts created after February 8th will also be applied with the content above. And this was edited on February 15th. So do we all get our hands in this pot right here, or is this purely for new masters? I understand that it says new masters right here, but especially with the whole selective summoning in the past, the whole thing with them basically giving out the ultimate evolution of Arthur in the past, everyone got this. So curious to see if that happens. If not, it's really just not a big deal. But I will say it is cool that they're trying to promote the game, at least in a way of saying, like, you know, hey, if you start the game now, don't feel too bad, because here's a whole bunch of stuff which isn't bad value whatsoever. Like, that looks like it's a light and dark selection card at the very end by playing for 7 days. Back in my day, we didn't get that. We did get Light Victoria, but we didn't have Dark Mona. We didn't have guaranteed gem slots on her. We didn't have it easy. But nowadays, everything is nice and dandy. And I mean, it would be nice having something, I guess, in there for the older players too, but that's always been a gripe with the game. It's more so about getting new players in. Of course, they will hopefully spend some money, and if they quit, that's fine, because you got the next bunch coming in next week to go over here, spend some, and that's pretty much it. And then it also states that they are preparing an improvement so that costumes can be equipped after Ultimate and Super Evolution. To prepare for the improvement of the costume system, some Ashermon's hit counts, Nightmare, Purse, Odin, Valk, and Arthur will be adjusted to be the same as the Ultimate Evolution when equipped with their costumes. So interesting right there, you know, in terms of, I guess, strategy, or hopefully getting some orb generation going on here. But yeah, MSL's still hanging out. Of course, your boy's still hanging out too. I think the Gleam thing is positive, doesn't take away from anything. Interested to see how good, or shall I say, spicy Sunday would be, and feel free to leave in the comments below about what you guys think about this update. I'm assuming Venus will still be around, so if you are a newer player, make sure you get Light and Dark Venus, especially if we have an event going on here. Not saying that it's going to happen, but it's been happening ever since the game started. And if you're curious about the Venuses, well, go ahead and check out my Venus review. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. See ya.